You guys, dating apps are such, and I feel so hopeless for my future. I'm literally gonna be single forever because I don't leave my house.
Why are older men staying single? Older men have already been through a lot. They've had a lot of relationships, they've seen the ups and downs. They've made some mistakes in their relationships and they don't want to repeat them. They're not willing to settle for anything less than the real deal. Older men tend to have higher standards, and rightfully so. They've lived life and they know exactly what they want. They've got careers, their own routine. They're just not willing to fill that slot with someone that doesn't align with their life anymore. The older that they get, they realize that time is so precious, and they want to spend it with somebody that truly complements their life. Not only that, but men who have been through life and been divorced, they know how to take care of everything. They know how to cook, clean, work, pay the bills. They do it their way. The thought of bringing someone new into that situation is a huge ask. It's not about being closed off, it's about being selective. These men have worked extremely hard for their happiness, peace, and freedom, and they're not willing to give that up for any woman that's not worth it. Older men aren't staying single because they don't want a relationship. It's because they're not willing to settle for anything less than a real connection. And they don't want someone that's just gonna walk into their life and bring drama and chaos. So if you're a man in your 40s, 50s, or 60s and you're single, good for you. Waiting for the right person to come along is one of the best things you can do for yourself. And I mean, I don't need to tell you that. I'm sure you're fully aware.
If nobody's gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. Dating with intention is boring as, and for the past year, I've been dating with intention. It's been real strict around here. And it makes sense because you don't want to waste your time. Why waste your time if you're looking for your person? But at the end of the day, not wasting my time has gotten me literally nothing. Not a damn thing. I'm still technically wasting my time. I have not found my person, and I'm not having any fun at all whatsoever, because let's face it, even the terrible men can be really, really fun. So from now on, we're not dating with intention anymore. We're just here to catch a vibe. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have standards anymore. It just means that the standards have shifted. The bar is now in hell. But it also means I'm no longer trying to be anyone's peace. I'm now trying to be everyone's problem. And you should too.
A man stopped to help a 20-year-old young woman on the side of the road. He was with her for 2 hours, working on her car. And she repaid him by claiming that he SA'd her, only to admit 7 days later that she made the whole thing up. But before all of that happened, he went to jail, he lost his job, and his wife left him. So when women have the nerve to fix their mouths to say, why aren't men trying to help women anymore when they're in danger? Well, maybe not danger, but in trouble. This is but one reason why. And another thing is more women will not step up and hold these type of trifling women accountable. I don't believe that believe all women BS, because far too many times you find out that a woman has lied because she didn't get her way, or she's doing something for revenge or whatever. So I think in cases like this, when it turns out to be a proven lie, the women should be held accountable, if that means jail time or having to pay some heavy fines. But something has to give about this. Something has to be done about this type of foolishness.
Have we noticed that whenever a man leaves a woman and he's the one to end the relationship, he's always painted as a villain, especially if they're public figures, because all of a sudden the whole internet goes crazy and all of a sudden he's a piece of shit. How dare a man leave a woman? How dare a man break up with a woman, right? That's literally how they paint it if a guy is the one that ends the relationship. But the roles reversed. If a woman leaves a man, it's a celebration. Oh, well, he probably deserved it. He probably cheated. He probably did this. He probably did that. He's probably an asshole. It's so interesting to me because it's a guy can't even end a relationship with a woman without being painted as the villain, without being painted as the bad guy. When in reality, men usually don't leave relationships. And I think it takes a lot usually for a man to leave a relationship. So when he does, why don't people look at it as in oh, men don't usually leave, so there must be a reason that he left. No, they don't. They just want to vilify him. Or maybe he just wanted to leave. Women leave men all the time for no good reason, and it's celebrated and it's totally fine. But if a man leaves a woman, ugh, it's the end of the world. How dare he?
At this point in my life, I am like the opposite of a pick-me. Like, you know those standards that you have? I actually go against them. I do not cook, I do not clean, actually. And I only want you for your money. No, I will not rub your back. I will not iron your clothes. I will not give you head. I will not. I'm not a pick-me. I don't care. Actually, disqualify me. Take me off the list. Take me off the roster. I'm done. I don't want.
The caption is, "The man who sees through this facade will deem himself worthy." No, stay away from this attitude. It's bad communication. And with this type of attitude, she's going to ruin your life.
You said leave us with encouragement. Don't date broke in 2025. If you do, you stupid. And because I told you. Date rich in 2025. If they're not rich, if they're not providing, if they're not generous, you don't go out with them. You don't even have a phone conversation with them. Leave them in the dust where they belong. Okay? There you go. Don't waste any more time and energy on dust. That is the advice I would give to anyone.
So I saw this study last night said 80% of men have just given up on dating. Specifically, men over the age of 30 have just given up on dating. They don't want to do it anymore. It's not worth it to them. So women are picking over a whole bunch of dirtbag men and sleeping with a bunch. But the men out there who are actually husband material have no interest in dating. Why? That's my question for you today. Why do you have no interest in dating? I'm going to tell you my opinion on why I don't. Also, women, if you want to chime in here and give us your opinion, please do so. But my example, I'm 40 plus. Okay, the reason I haven't dated in years probably mostly has to do with the fact that my heart hasn't moved on from the past. And I don't want to date a woman and her think everything's going a lot better than it actually is. And then one day she sees on my face that the feeling's not entirely there, that it's still halfway somewhere else. And I don't want to put somebody through that. So I hold off on dating. But that's not the only reason. Okay, that's just a tiny piece of it. Another part of the reason is that, I just contradicted myself, didn't I? I said a large part and then a tiny piece. I got it. Anyway. It's part of it. Okay, well, let's just say that. But it's also because you women, I see you on Facebook all the time talking about all the dates. Every single dude you go out with a date, you post on social media. And when it doesn't work out, you call them all sorts of names. And it's like you're dating 5 different dudes at the same time and talking smack about 3 of them in the same week. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. At some point, maybe the dude's not the problem. But I don't know. A lot of times I'm sure the dude is the problem. My only question is, why aren't men dating? Okay, I got off on a tangent there. I can tell you that it is kind of scary. I want one woman for the rest of my life. And I want that woman to want only me for the rest of our lives. And we can have fun, have a blast for the rest of our lives and be happy. And I am more than patient and more than willing to wait, because anything that I lose in the temporary will be absolutely worth it to find her. So that's why I'm waiting. But a whole lot of people are waiting for other reasons. Let me know what they are. Peace and hair grease.
I see now why a lot of women have a very hard time dating. Women do not know how to keep it player and really effectively communicate to get what they want. I saw a lot of egos, hissy fits, tantrums, entitlement, a lot of childish behavior yesterday due to Valentine's Day. Now myself, I love Valentine's Day. I think that anytime that you get to do a little extra for the person that you love, you guys have an equal exchange of honor, love, and respect for each other, then I'm all for it. However, some of y'all don't know how to keep it like player. Like, for instance, one young lady was on Threads and she says that the guy said good morning, she said good morning, and he sent her $30 for lunch.
This is why men are staying single. They don't want to pay for this type of attitude, but keep going.
Right? Then she sent it back and went to Threads and was like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of low effort. Girl, it was the beginning of the day. You don't know what he had planned for the rest of the day. She was like, he didn't say happy Valentine's Day, get $10 flowers or anything. Girl, you don't know. You assumed and then went off the deep end. And he probably just did that because that was the first thing he planned to do for you. And even if he didn't, thank you. Happy Valentine's Day. Now, not to compare women, but my homegirl started off with breakfast. Then her dude did a little extra for her. Like, you don't know where a man's mind is. Also, before having all these high expectations, when you're dating, it's not the time to be like, what's your favorite color and where do you want to travel? It's time to say, hey, you know, holidays are very important to me, especially Valentine's Day. How do you feel about those things? Instead of having all these expectations that you keep in yourself, that you believe that this man is supposed to just read your mind because you're so special, you don't know who he's dated before you. You don't know if he went all out for a woman in his past and he got jaded because it didn't work out and he's like, I'm never doing that again. You don't even know how this man thinks about or feels about the holiday. Some men do not care about Valentine's Day. Some men do not mind doing for their woman. You have to ask how the man feels about it and then align with a man who feels the same way you do. But y'all don't do that. Y'all have these expectations in your mind and then get mad when they don't get executed the way that you do.
Imagine communicating and telling your man exactly what you would want and not just wanting him to read some obscure and weird body language that you have going on.
Also, I've seen a lot in the comments like, Valentine's Day is for women. Says who? When men hear that, they're just like, oh, the woman is going to just have her hand out, and you're not going to do anything in return. Let me tell you something. Poontang, he ain't checking for your poontang. Everybody giving him poontang out. It is okay to do something sweet, a nice gesture. I cooked for my husband last night. He does for us all year. Like, and we going out tonight. Oh, that's another thing. I saw somebody say, oh, my man didn't take off from work today, so I know he ain't serious. Because this man is responsible and wanted to go to work to make money, because it's not like anything big is happening that Valentine's Day fell on a Friday that y'all couldn't do nothing Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh, that's just out of the picture because he didn't do it when you wanted him to do it. Y'all gotta grow up. I love us. I'm trying to get my girls married, but when I see stuff like this, I'm like, aha, I get why men are like, I ain't doing nothing. And you know what? In my personal beliefs, some men were testing their girls yesterday. Some men wanted to see, how entitled is she? Is she going to break up with me, dump me, not honor me, disrespect me, go to social media and do a think piece about me because she didn't get her way? I bet my bottom dollar a couple brothers was holding out until today to see how they women acted tomorrow.
And that woman that went straight to Threads after the man gave her flowers did exactly that. Fell right into the trap and failed it.
Excuse me, to see how their women acted yesterday. I guarantee it. And a lot of y'all fumbled really good men that were probably going to do a whole lot for you today. But because y'all acted up yesterday and y'all was blocking and y'all didn't even at least have a conversation. At least say, you know what? Dang, today is Valentine's Day. I was looking forward to it. I thought that you would do something because this means something to me. Y'all just assumed and did. And another thing, when you're just dating and you're just getting to know each other, y'all don't have a title. Y'all didn't make plans. Y'all didn't do anything. Like, where's all this expectation coming from? And then women be the first ones to say how they not doing nothing for a man. Do y'all know men like reciprocity just as much as we do? Like, gone are the days where men are just gonna do, and they get nothing in return. And if you truly care about that person, what's wrong with doing something for them as well? What's wrong for having a little reciprocity? What's wrong with just, you know what, babe? Don't worry about it. I got you. If that's your man, your man, your man. Y'all want to have kids with these men, move in with these men. Y'all want these men to spend all this money, and it's all about you. That's why these men don't be wanting to date.
You know, a lot of these modern women are used to men drawing lines in the sand for somebody else, not for them. Oh, go overseas, fight the battle, a war, draw a line in the sand. This is my boundary. Don't come any closer, enemy. But now in the home, he's drawing a boundary and saying, you can't treat me this way. You've got to reciprocate. You got to act like you're interested in me. You have to actually be feminine and be a wife. And now I feel like the enemy because he doesn't let me run free and do whatever I want and spend whatever I want and go crazy. I actually have to be in love with him. What a concept.
That's why these men don't want to they don't want to do nothing because they don't trust y'all. They don't trust if I'm going to put in any type of effort, is she going to act a fool because it's not on her level? It's not what she assumed in her mind. Y'all got to grow up. Be mature, have clear communication. If you are disappointed, that is okay. You could be like, dang, you know what? I thought you were going to do something. Like, at least talk. Now, and if the man is like, well, I don't care about your feelings, that's a whole different ball game, right? If a man is not like, and then y'all got to stop coming to social media. Like, you might be messing up your potential future because you're dragging the dude you're with right now. No man wants to be embarrassed. Take your L's in private. All you're doing is showing other men, your potential suitors, because they're going to watch your social media. They're going to look. Your potential suitors in social media that you're an entitled brat. That's what you're doing. You getting on here, dog walking your exes or your ex-boos or your situationships, your boo, whatever y'all want to call it. You getting on the internet and dogging them out and showing that you're this pampered princess who doesn't accept it. All you're doing is messing up your future. I hope y'all learned something. Please, ladies, we gotta grow up.
Okay, so let me tell y'all a story time of what happened over this Valentine's Day weekend. Okay, I put a video up here. A man surprised me at my job. Y'all seen the flowers, the bottle of Cooper's Hawk wine, like y'all seen it, right? Boom. I work in a department full of women. So I passed the flowers out to, women in my department. I don't know how they celebrated in private with their husbands or spouses or whatever of my coworkers were single, but nobody else had anybody else come up to the job, like whatever. I just did it, to be nice to my girls.
Wait, so you took the gift that he gave you and passed it out? I can see this working out well.
Right, boom. So I'm on the phone later, and the guy who was like asking, like, did you like the flowers? Did you like the wine? I'm like, yeah, thank you. It was so wonderful. And I told him that I passed the flowers out to the ladies in my department just to do something, nice for them. And he completely like chewed into me, like literally chewed into me. And, I'm listening to him. He was like, did you even keep one flower for yourself? And I'm like, no, I did not. And like, I passed them out to the other ladies so they can feel special also on Valentine's Day. And he just like ripped into me. And I made sure I acknowledge his feelings. Like, I understand why you would be upset, because you got me the flowers. Whatever. So I'm sorry that it made you upset. We kind of talked about it and then we like moved on. So then we went to dinner for Valentine's Day. This clown gonna bring it up again while we are on a date. And I'm like, and he's just ripping into me. He was like, he feels dumb for giving me the flowers. I didn't even save one for myself. And it was just like a waste of time. And I'm like, I got something for your ass. I said, listen, I appreciate everything you do for me. You took me out tonight. You surprised me at work. Like, thank you. I said, when you gave me the flowers, that made them mine. So where I can do whatever I want to do with the flowers because they are mine. You feel me? I said, if you wanted to still have a hold or a possession over the flowers because you bought them, you could have kept them yourself. I said, I told you it came from a genuine place. I wanted the other ladies in my department to feel special on Valentine's Day, just like you made me feel special. The fact that it came from the bottom of my heart and I was trying to do something nice. And we had already talked about this and put this to bed and then he gonna bring it up again while we on a date. Negro, please. When I tell y'all I'll let this man have it, and mind you, we're in public, but I can't allow you to waste my time and try to rip into me again in public. And I said, I tell you what, I'm going to buy you a bouquet of flowers. And I'm going to let you do whatever you want to do with them as a man. Whatever you throw them away, maybe you'll get some flowers to your mama, your sister, your niece, whatever you want to do with them. And I'm going to praise you from the rooftops for doing whatever you want to do with the flowers because they are yours to do something with. Tell me what y'all think.
And this is why men continue to stay single. This is why men continue to walk away from marriage and relationships, because he was trying to express to you how he felt. That's why he brought it up again, because his feelings were hurt. But you, being an entitled modern woman, didn't understand that and decided to go off on him when you really should have apologized and said, I heard you and I know this really hurt your feelings. Next time you give me something, I won't do it again. I'm sorry, babe. That's the end of it.
One of my favorite things to do on Hinge is when a guy asks for my phone number in the chat, I will send him my number if I'm into him, but I won't type it out for him because that's just too easy. I will send a voice note with my phone number so that they probably have to get a paper and a pen to write it down and probably listen to it a couple of times, unless they have a very good memory and they could just listen to it once and remember it, which, if that's the case, impressive. Just the thought that they might have to go get a paper and a pen old school days and write down a phone number just kind of cracks me up. I don't know, little things like that just bring me joy. Okay, bye.
Am I tripping, or did everything suddenly start getting centered around men? Or has it always been centered around men? Because why am I watching perfume recommendations and people are saying, oh yeah, and by the way, men love this scent combo. Here's a scent combo to make him fall in love with you. Do your nails like this so men can like this. Wear the color pink so you come off more soft and dainty and feminine to him. How to talk to him nicely. How to talk him through it. Who gives a fuck?
This is an interesting comment and I want to handle this with caution. If you're always the one that got away, there's likely two things that are happening. They could be happening at the same time. Either one, you don't hold the value that you think you do, And the validation that makes you feel like you can say this is because you've chosen shitty men that will come back to you and spin the block. Please let me help you understand that that is not irregular. Most men spin the block. Most men get comfortable around a woman that they're with because most men don't feel like they have the same amount of options. So if you were good to them, you didn't cheat on them, you didn't argue with them all the time, and they were sleeping with you, 9 times out of 10, when they move on from you to that next girl who's annoying, they're going to try to spin the block. And the second thing is, and this is why I said they could be happening at the same time, because they probably are, you're choosing really shitty people to be with. If you really are that valuable and that amazing and that perfect, but you're always the one that got away, then you're choosing people who don't value you. That's not a them problem, that's a you problem. And this is the stuff that I be talking about. We all have to take ownership of our own outcomes in our lives, in our relationships, in our business, etc. If you keep getting the same outcome, you keep realizing the same pattern over and over again, it ain't them, it's you. This is your life.
And that's all men today be saying. Just at some point in time, take some responsibility and accountability for what you did in the situation.
Because let me put you on game. When I got divorced, I needed to take a year to repair my view of how I saw men based on that experience that I chose for myself. Notice how I didn't blame him and none of that. Do you notice how I didn't blame him in any of that? Because this is my choices, because I am the queen and life is chess. Whatever move I make is a decision. It is intentional. It is strategic. So I made that move. So I release him from all responsibility of that, because that has nothing to do with him. These are my choices. And based on my previous choices, I had to take time and I had to repair. I had to reassess and I had to repair my view of men before I would entertain them. Okay? Some of y'all need to sit on a porch. You don't trust men because it ain't that you don't trust men, you don't trust your choices. That's the truth. And you need to sit on the porch with that and stop trying to be outside just because they saying it's hot.